It is time to blast off inside the kennel. And now here is the tomahawk missile himself, Vindog Radio.
Woo! 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 Welcome to Inside the Kennel with myself, Vindog Radio, a Money Bin production. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, live on podbean.com. You can add and like and subscribe to the podcast on Podbean. Yes, download the Podbean app. Over 5 million downloads to date and over 1.7 billion downloads with a capital B of the podcast. Yes, of different podcasts and influencers on Podbean. So that is awesome. We need you to like and follow our podcast at The Kennel right here on podbean.com. We're available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, yes indeed, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. We are ready to get you uplifted and spirited today because we have a lot to go on with the CRT. We're going to release the Kraken, so can we get into the library because I need to go and do this. Let's see.
Access granted.
Thank you very much, computer. Access has been granted. Now, a dad spoke against critical race theory, and this video went viral, but I'm going to shoot the audio out to you right now because I think everybody needs to jump on board and start the fight against this chicanery that is happening in America. You ready for this?
When you talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other, I don't care what you say, it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How did I get, first of all, time up, because I only got 5 minutes now, 5 minutes. 2 medical degrees, no mom, no dad in the house, worked my way through college, sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that? Are you serious? Not one white person ever came to me and say, well, son, you're never going to be able to get nowhere because you know the black people. But guess what? What's sickening about this whole thing is what y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you know you ain't going to be able to do nothing out there in the world because them white folks ain't going to let you get no, or you know you're not going to be able to do it here because you know the white man going to keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now if some white man kept me down? How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I work for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? Of this the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This is what we come to now. I can't believe we even talking about this right now. The last thing I'm gonna say right here is something that's crazy. Martin Luther King said he wanted his kids to grow up in a world where they are judged by the contents of their
character.
Their character, not their skin. If they letting this stuff go on right now, it is absolutely doing the complete reverse of what he's doing. So when February comes, don't talk about Martin Luther King. When February comes, don't talk about black history. None of y'all gonna sit there and just pretty much pee on this grave with this nonsense. That's exactly what's about to happen. Lastly, we are talking about our kids. We are talking about our children. What's so sickening about me, I love the Discovery Channel. You will see that on the Discovery Channel, animals will put their lives on the line to protect their children from danger. Nobody want to get to the heart of the matter, get to the meat of the matter, get to the moral of the story. When it all comes down to it, the person that's going to be suffering from this, the ones going to be hurt from this, is the kids. 10 years from now, if this stuff goes on, whose fault is it going to be? Whose fault is it going to be? Who we going to look back on and blame for this? Because this is stuff we talking about right now. This stuff is going on right now. I do this stuff on a daily basis. I'm in the hood. Amen. I'm in the communities. I'm out there with folks in their face. I've been doing this stuff since I was 18 years old, talking to black folks. And you know what? None of them are buying this nonsense. None of them are. But if you want to implement this into the school system, I guarantee you to the day that I die, I'm going to be the very person right there debunking stuff, tearing stuff down, letting them know they can do exactly what I did and get exactly where I am by putting themselves to work and getting there. Ain't not one white person ever going to keep any of them from getting there. So the CRT stuff, BS.
Amen, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, the man just said it right there. Critical race theory has been pushed on Americans. Now, I have another father on here who gives it to the school board the way that it should be given to them, and he tells them about the Constitution and the Supreme Court. I'm just going to let this dad speak too.
I'm going to quote to you, solicitor. I'm quoting, just a minute, do not talk over me. This is my comment, not your comment. I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the US Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment. And I will caution you, solicitor. There is a video camera to my left. If you edit this tape, then you're going to have a big legal problem on your hands, because my right to critique your fascism, which is what this is constitutionally protected. There are emails, public record emails, in which the Director of Equity is lobbying and advocating for public comment to be censored in this school district. And you know what? Lobbying for it, advocating for it. We've got the school board president saying she'll do better at hitting the mute button in blatant violation of the Constitution. For her lobbying and her advocacy of unconstitutional censorship, I want you, the school board, to terminate the employment of Dr. Charissa Gibson with immediate effect. And after you've terminated her employment, I want all of you to tender your resignations for hating on this country. We have a God-given constitutional right to critique you, and we can speak in any lawful tone that we see fit. And don't go looking around, Benito, because this is the United States of America. You have a good... one more thing. I'm going to make a verbal request right now for an unedited copy of the tape. So if any of you delete it, you're going to have a big legal problem.
Yes, indeed. Hallelujah! The Father has spoken. Parents are speaking out against this nonsense because they know critical race theory is a lie. It is a bold-faced lie that has been told to America for the longest. It is nuts. And you know, Governor Ron DeSantis, he came out and spoke about this in Florida, of course, and he said that he wants to have curriculum that's going to teach the children about real American history. That is awesome. Lots going on in the world today, and on the other side, I'm going to show you how the military is teaching critical race theory on the taxpayer's dime. Are you really serious right now? I know General Lilly is serious. He sat there straight-faced and told them that they're gonna teach this curriculum. The military academy is a college. But you are not upholding your oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America at home and abroad. Ridiculous. How many of you know about the Constitution of the United States of America? How many of you have taken the time to read the Bill of Rights? It's all online. You don't have to have the book in front of you. But I have a copy. And I urge everyone, if you do not have a copy of the Bill of Rights in the total book of the Constitution of the United States of what we call America, what's left of it, grab a copy so that you can present it in front of these people just like that father did in front of the school board. Do you know that these people are probably hired by some secret elitist money being put into your communities? You have access to who these people are in politics that are in your town. These people could be newcomers to your city, and they can come and destroy everything that you and your families have worked for by teaching this nonsense to children. Look, I'm going to sit here and talk until my face goes super Dodger blue. Because I am sick of the chicanery that is being pushed out there, that this narrative of white anger and et cetera and so forth. It's crazy, man. But you know what? no one's going to speak up. No one's going to reach down and say, you know what? I really got to get my gumption on because they are destroying America. The uber left and the rhinos together are destroying America. Yes, I'm calling out the people on the right too. I'm going to tell you why. Because this all could have been prevented if you all would have done your damn jobs and worked for the people of the United States of America. That's why we place you in your butts in those seats. Are you kidding me right now? And everybody's just sitting there and saying, you know what, I just got to collect that paycheck. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. There's only very few people that I like, and Jim Jordan's one of them. The rest of them, they're not doing anything for you, America. None of them are. Politicians are the enemy of the people. They've made it that way. We've put them in office. They've gotten away with it for so long. And they say, yeah, man, we're collecting money off of the backs of the American people. Let's push this through. Let's push that through. No matter what America thinks, it's all about what they think. That is called dictatorship. That is called tyranny. That is called tyrannical government. Hey, I study all this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not 100% in it, but I know what I'm talking about. Common sense is common sense. But now they're trying to flip it all upside down to say what's right is wrong and what is wrong is right. Wake up. Smell the incense, people. Because they are literally punking you. And me. They're trying to punk me. But I'm going down with a fight. And if you are a Christian and then you start to go woke, denounce yourself as a Christian because Christians should not be woke. Christians should not be a part of the woke industrial complex. That is a no-no in God's eyes. If you don't believe me, read the Bible front to back. Absorb every word written from Genesis all the way to the end of Revelation. Yes, God is a just God, but he's not an SJW God. That was never in his plan. And if anybody wants to debate me on it, let's do it. Let's take it outside and sit on the bench and talk about this. The Democrat Party is the enemy of the people. Politicians on either side of the aisle has become the enemy of the people because they let these idiots do this to America. No one's got a spine anymore. And professional baseball should be ashamed of itself. Where are the baseball players on this? Huh? When are they going to stand up? Jackie Robinson stood up. And he was one man. I don't see any professional athlete standing up against all of this nonsense, but LeBron James stands up against something he knows nothing about. He wants to defund the police. Look, let him defund the police in his neighborhood and see how it works out. Don't defund the police in areas where people need law enforcement to help them out in their communities. This is ridiculous. I'm getting sick and tired of all these people coming out. Oh, we need to defund the police. Look at what's going on in the city. Oh my, we need to defund the police. You guys are a bunch of numbskulls. Unfortunately, people are falling for this crap. Right? Let's get with it, Arnold. That's all I hear out of Washington right now. And I'm going to play you a piece from Josephina Robinette biting on the other side of the kennel, because it's crazy. And this guy is supposedly the leader of the free world. Save the hogwash for the herds in Texas. We're coming back on the other side. This is The Kennel right here on Podbean.com, a Money Bin production. You freaking cockroach. Back in a minute, sucker. Back in a minute.
More with the street shooter himself right after this. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Vindog Radio.
American Airlines, rated the worst, losing the most bags, shrinking legroom during COVID. American requires passengers to show ID to fly, but attacks Texas's popular voter ID law. Why is CEO Doug Parker trying to appease the radical left? To distract from billions in taxpayer bailouts, from his $10 million payday, from Americans' record layoffs. Doug Parker, American Airlines. Serve your customers, not woke politicians. Coca-Cola is getting political, attacking Georgia's popular voting law. Why? To distract from years of dismal sales, terrible 2020 results, reports suspecting they benefited from forced labor in China. Coca-Cola products are poisoning America's youth and worsening the obesity epidemic. So the company tried funding phony science to minimize the harms, but they got busted. James Quincy, Coca-Cola. Stop poisoning our children. Serve your customers, not woke politicians. Nike is constantly political. Why? Cover. Congressional reports suspect Nike used forced labor in China. Religious minorities were ripped from their families, sterilized, sold to factories. Nike made shoes in those same areas. Congress tried to ban Nike's labor practices. Nike fought back with highly paid lobbyists. Rather than hiring Americans, Nike chose China. John Donahoe, Nike. Stop exploiting foreign labor. Serve your customers, not woke politicians.
He shoots straight from the hip, and if you don't like it, go and stuff yourselves. Back to the kennel with Mr. Keeping It Real himself, Vindog Radio.
Welcome back to the kennel with myself, Vindog Radio, Money Bin Production. Yes, please like and follow the podcast on podbean.com, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast. Yes, indeed. Please do that right now. We're also available on Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. Like and follow the podcast, and please give us 5-star reviews. We will greatly appreciate it. We need to get our subscribers up. We need those numbers to increase so that we can keep the lights on in the studio and make sure that we give you the information on fleek as it comes in every second of the day.
Access granted.
Thank you, computer. Listen to Josephina Robinette Biden as he tries to explain the Second Amendment in Patriots of America. Listen to this guy.
The Second Amendment, from the day it was passed, limited the type of people who could own a gun and what type of weapon you could own.
What?
You couldn't buy a cannon. Those who say the blood of patriots, and all the stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been, if you wanted to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons. The point is that there's always been the ability to rationally limit the type of weapon that can be owned and who can own it.
That's all I heard from Josephina Robinette Biden on that one, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. Look, Joe, you're all right, man. You're all right in the rest home. Somebody help the man. Somebody please help Joe. Because Joe can't help himself right now. Joe has puppeteers telling him what to do. Joe doesn't even know that he's Joe. I wonder if anybody is paying attention to everything that has happened over the past few months. Joe is not all there, folks. He's not. And for all the Biden followers, you guys thought he was going to be good old Lunchbox Joe. No way. He got his money. His family committed the crimes in order to get ahead by stepping on our backs when we were working our tails off to make that money. He takes that tax-paying money and has to funnel it through his son, and his son referred to his dad as the big guy. Then it comes out that there's 100% evidence that his son drops the N-bomb to his lawyer, but nothing to see here, folks, because it's Hunter Biden. if that were Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump or Ivanka Trump or any other Trump, boy, that would have been all over the place. Let me tell you what's really going on. There's a narrative, and the media is pushing the narrative. They already said that the climate czar words are going to come out. They had to get Trump out of the way. People say, oh no, there goes Vindog, the radio, the Trumper. Look, shut up. Shut your stupid mouth right now. I just vote for who's trying to do what's right for America. And it sure ain't Joseph Robinette Biden, I'll tell you right now. It sure ain't Kamala Harris. Because when she was Attorney General of California, she was putting black people in jail hand over fist. She was getting black mothers in trouble because they couldn't actually get their kids to school and try to work at the same time, when they were single moms. So don't give me this bologna and cheese sandwich nonsense that Kamala is a good person, because she's not. You serious? You want me to keep going? How about the granddaughter of Nina Simone saying that her mother was almost to the point of suicide because Kamala Harris pushed her over the barrier to make her sign over the rights of her grandmother's music to white people. And Kamala Harris talks about equity, inequality, and social justice? Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Kamala Harris is a phony. Kamala Harris should not even be in office. She was ranked the worst during the primaries. She was eliminated the quickest. She was one of the weakest links next to Andrew Yang. And you expect us to believe that 81 million people voted for this guy. You know what? I call BS. Yes. Right down the toilet. Just like that. Now, I want you to listen to this General Lilly of the military representing our country. He took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America at home and abroad. Boy, oh boy. Here is his take on CRT. Are you ready? General Lilly, speak.
First of all, on the issue of critical race theory, et cetera, I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform.
Wait a minute. You think it's important for those of us in uniform to know about critical race theory? Are you serious? Have you read the entire curriculum on it? Or are you just spilling beans out of the air? My goodness. General Lilly, you are protecting our country? You are defending and upholding the Constitution at home and abroad, and you want to talk about CRT? This is taking us back more than 100 years with this chicanery. This is Jim Crow 2.0. Go ahead, keep talking.
To be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we...
Wait a minute. So, the United States Military Academy is a university, and it is important. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Train, and we understand...
Yeah.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm what...
Wait. You want to understand white rage, and you're going to say, and you're white. Sir, You must have been a great fan of Brokeback Mountain.
And I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out.
Wait a minute. What? To overturn what? No, bro. You cannot be more serious, right? All right, I'm going to let you keep talking. Go ahead.
I want to maintain an open mind here, and I do want to analyze it. It's important that we understand that because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians, they come from the American people. So it is important that the leaders, now and in the future, do understand it. I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist. So what is wrong with understanding, having some situational understanding about the country for which we are here to defend? And I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers, of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there. That was started at Harvard Law School years ago, and it proposed that there were laws in the United States, antebellum laws prior to the Civil War, that led to a power differential with African Americans that were 3/4 of a human being when this country was formed. And then we had a Civil War.
I thought it was 3/5. Wow. General Lilly. Silly General Lilly. I don't know, man. I think America's finished. Because this is so divisive. It's crazy. I thought we'd gotten past all of this, but I guess not.
An Emancipation Proclamation to change it. And we brought it up to the Civil Rights Act in 1964. It took another 100 years to change that. So look it, I do want to know. And I respect your service, and you and I are both Green Berets. But I want to know. And it matters to our military and the discipline and cohesion of this military.
Yeah.
And I thank you for the opportunity to make a comment on that.
Thank you, Jen.
General Lilly, you can take that thought and shove it down the toilet. That is crazy. They want to push critical race theory down everyone's throat. My friends, I don't even know what to say anymore. Is America finished? I don't know, but it looks that way. I urge each and every America with a beating heart, stand up for your country. Okay, is there racism in this country? Absolutely. Is it on steroids like they're portraying it to be? Absolutely not. It is crazy to think that America is that racist. It is crazy to think that people have white anger? Really? That's nuts, man. So all of my white friends have anger. Wow. All of my white friends have anger. I'm going to check my list. Because every white friend that I have, or a white family member, white stepdad, has anger, huh? Genuine people that I know and love have anger. You know what this is doing? This is turning people on one another. People group against people group, ethnic. You know, I have a great pastor by the name of Thomas James Hughes. He is one of the awesomest people you would ever meet in your entire life, and he has a heart for Jesus Christ. I know another pastor, good brother, he's around my age group. His name is Pastor James Cadiz of Calvary Chapel, Signal Hill. One of the greatest people you would ever meet. And he has a love for the Lord, and he loves this country. And he is a first-generation American. And he's from Egypt, which Egypt is a part of Africa. He could quote himself as being, as they say, African American. He could say it. Now, me personally, I know and believe that the terminology African American was started by the uber left. Yes, it was staged by them so they could start this separatist movement that is happening right now. My friends, my neighbors, my brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, mother, father, sister, brother. They are trying to destroy us to make us think that one of us is all bad. Look, I have friends that vote Democrat. I have friends that vote Republican. I have friends that vote independent. But I'm going to tell you this. I didn't turn on them. And a few of them did not turn on me. We're still together on this stuff. We're telling each other, man, we are constitutionalists. We don't want America getting destroyed. We might disagree on a few other things, but we can agree that the Constitution should always stand. In these United States of America, what's left of it. I'm going to keep saying that until something turns around and proves me wrong. Because there's a little situation going on with farmers in America too. Yeah, you didn't know about that, did you guys? They are trying to destroy the farm communities in the United States of America. We're going to talk about that on episode 53. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. And sometimes I want to get your opinions out there. I want to talk to each and every one of you that listen to this podcast. I want you to share this podcast because we all need to get this conversation going together. I don't want this one-sided craziness going on. I want everybody to have legitimate thoughts and opinions without yelling and talking over each other. Because that's what happens in the left-wing drive-by media. We don't need that here. I want people that are going to come on here and have a decent conversation and say, you know what? We do need to come together on this stuff. The government is coming against everybody. I'm going to tell you something about the government that is AKA the mob right now. If you're on the left and you're going along with the government's narrative, and I'm talking to everybody that's woke, from businesses to churches, from people that are out there on the streets that are just woke up. They woke. They're not awake. They're woke. Let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to destroy people that are trying to fight for what's right. And then when they're done kicking us to the side, they're coming after you because you're easy enough to keep submitting. They say, oh yeah, these people are submissive. This is good. We need submissive people. We need less people that think freely. We need more people that are submissive. Yes, sir. We need some submissive going on here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, boss. We need a yes man and a yes woman and a yes, whatever the 99,000 genders are. We need everybody to be yes people. Yes, sir, Mr. Government. Yes, sir, Miss Government. Yes, sir, government. We does everything you says, government. You's work for us, government. Well, no, we's work for you now, government. We stay home, government. That's what it is. They want to control you. And a lot of you are buying it right down the commode, just as I said earlier. Man, wake up, friends. Wake up. These people are not for you. They're against you. And they're showing it, and you're still not seeing it. Crazy. I don't get it. I'm going to tell you something right now. There are some folks out there that I just say this to when they try to come over and hang out with me at the house. I tell them,
access denied.
Absolutely. If you can't come to an agreement that this government is not for you. If you can't see the writing on the wall, I'm going to keep on telling you.
Access denied.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to hop in the wagon and go and peel out on you. That's it. You've been listening to the Kiddo Podcast with myself, Dog Radio, Money Bin Production. You can follow Money Bin on YouTube at Money Bin Productions with a Z. Yes, and you can also listen to a few episodes of our podcast there too. And it's awesome, and we thank you so much. We truly love you for listening. For those of you who keep supporting, please help this podcast grow. We need to grow together. We need to stand together and fight for what's right. And until then, I will see you on the other side, sucker duckers. See you real soon, sucker.